continue on our merry little way. As last time, I managed to get a whole heap of, well, basic things set up. So, what got going is that I've managed to set up a fairly sizable thermal power production over here. But I realized that there's actually something I want to do to make my life just, you know, a tad bit easier, and that's to set up a little bit of a buffer so I can just come in and grab some graphite to burn while I wait for hydrogen fuel to become available. Alright, but now it means that I can just come in here and grab graphite as I need it. So now that I've done that, let's pop that in and that in there, and now I don't have to worry too much about fuel for a little while longer. Right. So the last thing I was doing was playing with the glass. Now I'll get back to that in just a moment. We'll just go for a little bit of a wander around the base. So I've got this coal here, so that's the start of our fuel power. This stone here, part of it is going into the base proper, while the other part's going into this glass, which I'm going to set up in a little while. That's what partway through, and I was like, no, I'm too tired to go on after 11 hours of playing the game. This here is my main production area. I've got one minor copper mine here, supplemented by another copper mine over here, which I'm probably going to have to expand a bit more soon. And I realised I could probably shorten this and save a few belts along the way. But I've set it up like that now. Now here is my actual base. So right now I've got a little bit of iron that I'm probably going to have to supplement shortly. This is going into making coils, going into storage, and then back down along the main bus here. Circuits, copper, gears. Got some reserves for handcrafting if and when I need to handcraft. As well as a little bit of buffer, and then it goes down into making stuff, which is very important. Now, I will get back to that. I've got some stone being made here into bricks, which is then going into my concrete plant. Not much of a concrete plant at the moment, but it's still rather sizable. In fact, let's just get that all together. Now, one of the things I'm going to start doing, yeah, making stuff pretty much. I'm going to start just stockpiling all the extra stuff. Yeah, the stuff that I don't have much of a use for. Including those. Those are very important. Now, I am actually going to probably grab those silicon things out of there. Because I need... One of the things I want to do is I want to start making a silicon build. Which, I mean... One of the things I haven't done yet is really sort of have a look at the star map. And just sort of have a look to see, you know, what I've got here. Now, on my gas giant, I've only got hydrogen and deuterium. I don't have any fire ice. That's annoying. So, that is rather unfortunate. But in the system, I've got 9 million silicon and 16 million titanium. So, you know, that's okay, I guess. But what I'm going to have to do is look at some of these planets here. So I've got a little bit of They've got a lot of iron and copper and a bit of silicon, good amount of titanium there. Then I've got another one on the outside here. A little bit of copper, good amount of iron, but also a really good amount of silicon and titanium and stone. So eventually I'll move to there and move my sort of production things and grab silicon from there. But before I do, I need to really make things a little bit more robust in terms of power. And to do that, I'm going to need silicon so I can build solar panels. So I need to find some stone that's nearby, but not too far away. And I'll get back to the glass shortly. Okay, I've got a good amount of stone there, but considering the oil production around there, I may yet keep that for making graphene. So stone otherwise that's nearby. Oh look, here's an amount of stone not too far away. So I could probably look at converting that into silicon and then converting that into a bit of solar panels. So the solar panel recipe is 5 circuits, 10 copper, 10 silicon every 6 seconds. So it's a bit, but it's not too much that I need to worry about. So my priority now is really just building a little bit of a stockpile, because I'm going to need a stockpile. Because then to get a more robust power, once I have that, I can then start looking into setting up my oil so I can set up my red science. So I should be able to just cover this over and convert this into the silicon I need, and then bring it back to the circuits, maybe. What I'm going to have to do is set up a side load on the circuits. And at the moment the copper isn't really going anywhere else. It just makes it here and then it stops. But yeah, there's its output. There. So I'm going to have to probably have a small solar panel production facility over here somewhere. And just rearrange everything yet again. But I'll set this coal up for the future. This will be for graphite production, most likely. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do the boring thing and grab as much of the natural resources as I can, because otherwise it's stuff that's going, and organic crystals are very valuable. They're extremely valuable. I'm going to try and use them to kickstart my my yellow science when I get up to it. But that's still some way away. So I might as well stockpile these things now. Now, let me just put down this. I'm going to put that down, but I'm going to just have... I don't know if that's going to be white concrete or if it's going to be clear. Yeah, there we go. No decoration. Just need to grab some more soil piles. Oh, that should be enough. So I've really got to work on finding hills to clean like that. I'm not doing it, but I really don't care too much. Otherwise, I'm just losing things again. Right. So now I've got a nice little healthy supply. That's a small one, but it's all I need. Right. Mining. Oh, I've only got 4 miners now. I need more than that. I'm going to definitely need more than that. Because I need to generate 24 stone, so I need 8 miners. So I actually need double that amount. That's just as well over here. I've got a supply of them. Handy dandy supply. Okay. I'm also going to need belts. Yeah, some more belts would be good. While I'm at it, I'm also going to grab... I might need some more wind turbines, I think. Oh, no, I'm fine. What else do I need? Storage? Yes, I'm going to need some storage. Just refill up to this top stack of everything I'm likely to need. Splitters, I don't think I've got any. Let's just grab... yeah. Full stack of... no, 2 stacks. Alright. And you. Alright, so I've got my nice clear stone mine area around here, so I need 8 mines. So I need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Brilliant. Now, that's going to be my initial silicon supply. So, unfortunately, it's a really bad ratio. So, to get silicon ore, I need to smelt 10 every 10 seconds. It takes 10 seconds to smelt 10 ore into 1 silicon ore. So I need 24 smelters, effectively. It's not going to be a perfect ratio, but it'll be close enough for the purposes of what I'm trying to achieve. So I might just fill in this area here. Oh, raid! Vorbadger! Coming in there with 6 people. Thank you very much, mate. It's been a long time. How you doing? Really good to see you. Okay. So I need to basically, well, grab this. Now I wanted to run this kind of way. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I think outside and inside can be the best strategy. Got it there. Got it there. Okay. Let's just put power supplies in. Okay, and then that's a one. And that's why we don't put him directly in the middle, Dairakku. Right. Up we go, like that. And up we go, like so. So, 2 of these mines will each supply 1 column. So while my robots are busy doing that, let me just start Setting up recipes. Okay, we want to make silicon ore. Then we want in and out. Copy, paste, and then we want in and out. Right, so then now that that's done, just copy and paste that down there. We're ready to go. Copy paste that down there, and we're ready to go. Once again, copy and paste down here. And then copy and paste down here. Please lay the belts. And we're ready to go. Cool. It's so good just having this quick build option. I mean, blueprints are apparently a matter of days away in the game. But I thought about holding off until blueprints were available, but I didn't want to wait around. So something like this would be absolutely something to blueprint. It could just be like, and then that's it. Even though it's fairly quick just laying out a smelter column. So much faster in this game than it is in Factorio. Alright, so I've got my 24 smelters, making my 24 silicon. And out of that 24 silicon, I am just, or silicon ore, all that is just being converted into, when I can find the place of things. I'm just going to keep it in line here. 1, 2, 3. That's it. I'm only going to be making 3 silicon. Because I've got enough input to make 2.4. That's literally it. Right. Silicon is underway. The issue now is how do I get my circuits out of this absolute mess? What I think I'm going to have to do is probably, I don't know. I'm going to have to put a splitter in. There's no other way around it. I need to put a splitter in somewhere. So I think I'm going to have to move my onion rings around a bit and then put that down on the ground there. And that's going to give me the ability to put in a place for the circuits to come out. I really haven't thought this through very well, I have to admit. So I'll pop that into there. Put that in like so. How'd that go in? Okay. So now I've got an outlet. And this is absolute spaghetti, what I'm doing. This is... I'm magenta so that I can see it. And also tell me that there's something that I can pick up from here. So if I put the factory there, grab myself that, and it's okay. I definitely don't want any coming out of there, so just keep that low power. This is going to be making the solar panels for me. It's going to bring it down to ground level. Because I'm going to want any conveyor belts from that to go around the other way from here. Okay. Right. There we go. Now let's remove the sort of preview. Pop that in there. But it's probably going to be entirely consumed anyway. Now, yes, I could build the diagonals if I wanted to, but I'm choosing not to. Just in case I decide to put something in there. Though, actually, I could just get rid of this later. Oops. Alright, now are we making our first solar panels? Ooh. Now I'm just going to leave this box completely open and let it do its thing. What I want to start doing, other than building that up, is to start, well, working towards that. Now, one of the first things I will need to do is this. So I'm going to need some blue cubes, I'm going to need some red cubes. Now's sort of a good time for me to really sort of think. In fact, before I even do that, let me just see what upgrades I have. So that needs blue and red, blue and red, blue and red, blue and red. I think I've done all the blues. Okay, that just needs red, blue, red, yellow, blue, red, yellow, blue and red. That's going to be a very nice one. Communication control is also blue and red. Inventory capacity is also blue and red. So I've done everything that I can with just blue. I really wish I'd get on with that. Everything's blue and red. So this is what we need to aim towards. Because to make things more effective, I'm going to need the X-ray cracking. But to get to that stage, I'm going to have to sort of, well, expand on that, because there's now a lot more that I need. And one of those things that I need is the glass. So I've got my glass over there, ready and waiting to go. The other things that, especially with my home area here, I need to really be concerned with the oil. So it'd be nice if there was a way to just filter Vein distribution. Now the maximum oil that I could get out of the planet is 51. Now, that's going to allow me a few builds. So, what I'm going to do now is sort of look for an area where I've got a good amount of oil, and there we are. So this over here, I've got 5 seeps there, and some more seeps there, so I'm going to probably end up bringing them in at some stage. So this is really going to be my oil production area. I mean, I can even make spare graphite out of that if I so need to. 6. So oil is going to be here. Eventually I could bring these in. So I could just have these as oil wells and probably put them in logistics towers or and send them to where it needs to go or something like that. So I don't need to worry too much about oil and having space for oil production in this area now. All I need is space for an extractor. Speaking of which, can I build them? Yes, I have all my oil buildings, my water pumps. Okay, now it's time to expand my little shopping mall here. So I want to build basically 7 things. So the first 2 of which are storages. And those storages, or not storages, it's the fluid storage, which takes iron, stone, and glass. And the matrix labs, which takes onion ring circuits, glass, and iron. So there's the onion rings and the circuits. Got iron coming in here. But I also want to start looking into making these. Now, these require the plasma exciters to build, and eventually we'll go on to make something else. So all it requires is plasma exciters and these. Why is that colliding with other objects? Why is that colliding with other objects? Why can't I move the iron beyond here? What I might have to do is something like that. Oh, well, it's going to look awful no matter what I do. I know you're not done. You're being needy. Okay, so plasma exciters. Oh, come on. Alright then, sit on my lap for a while. Come on. There we go, sit on my lap. Alright, so I think probably what I need is to scrap the whole idea and do something completely different. Try to manage Dyson Sphere and a cat. Okay, are we all done? Are we all done, sir? Okay. Alright, I think we're satisfied for now. We've got our attention, we've got our pats. It's less a maze and more just utter chaos. Yep, that's pretty true. Alright, there we go. Packages of Tesla towers. In fact, I think I've got this in slightly the wrong place. So we're going to put the glass in. It's going to come in along here. Now, what I'm actually able to do is if I take that back one further, it reaches the ground there, and I can actually start pulling from here. Ah, now here's a problem. That is not going to quite always line up. Alright, now I want a gap in between it so that I've got room to put in a Tesla tower. Oh. We have a slight problem. That's not going to fit there. So really we've reached the end of the gears line, which is here. Because the Tesla tower doesn't need gears, all it needs is onion rings. So now I've got a place for glass to come in. So let me just build my Tesla tower line. I'm going to put it up above the iron line. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. The edge of the grid there is causing funny things to happen to the belts. So what I need to do is move you over to there instead. As much as I hate doing this, in fact I'm going to have to get rid of that, because that's going to need to move here. Which means this is going to have to move here. And it's going to have to work twice as hard to bring it in because of this silly point there. I can't build there. Now the reason for this is so that I've got room around there. Move that to that tile there. Move that to that tile there. Start bringing this all down along here. Right. Now, this is going to be the fluid storage, which requires iron. Now, the good thing about that is that I don't think anything else on my line requires iron. So if I look at that doesn't need iron. The oil extractor doesn't need iron, it needs steel and stone. That needs steel and stone. So, there we go. That's the end of our iron line. Which means that over here, I can convert this to being my wireless. And instead of having iron there, I could just bring this along. Bring this down. And have that terminate there. Just put that in, slide that in here, sneakily. Have my plasma exciters go to here. Except no. I want plasma exciters to start around here. So it's time for me to finally bring the glass in. Now, one belt can transport 6 per second, and I'm producing 12 glass. So I've decided one of these lines is going to my plasma exciter production, so prisms, that sort of thing, and the other one is going to glass production. That's going to there, that's more than covering it, so I should be able to just replace that one there. So I'll get my inside line to go up and over through there. Because I want to build my plasma exciters in situ. Now I might just leave myself a little bit of room if ever I need to get gears out of there. Let's build this diagonal in, because why not? Life's too boring to always be square. Pop that into there. Now, I don't... Now, did the other things need glass? Yes, they do. The chemical plant does. The oil extractor doesn't, but the chemical plant does. And that's one of the things I'm definitely building next. Now I want the oil extractor and the refinery. That, let me put that into there, so I've got a bit of overlap. So this one is going to be the oil extractor. This one is the refinery. Next one on the to-do list here, this is going to be for my bigger storages when they're available. And then down the end here is where the chemical plants are being made. So I can just go ahead and do that because it's a one storage thing, and unfortunately things are going to be slightly shifted to the left, but it'll have to do. Apparently I don't need the onion rings after that point there. Plasma exciters now. They require prisms and onion rings. Oh. This is where the onion rings go. Okay, so prisms just require glass. That's it. So it's 3 to 2. I'm not even going to bother too much with ratios in this. So I need to convert that into a prism making factory. Where are the factories? Here they are. That goes over. In fact, what I need to do is something like that instead. There we go, plasma exciters. Now I'm happy to have this as a grade 1. Because I don't really need too many. I don't need it to be made quick. Oops, not there. That's where they're going to come out of. And unfortunately, That's where I want to put that. Ho hum. Okay. That was a bit silly, wasn't it, Dairakku? I wonder if I can sneak this through this gap here. Okay. Then I sneak that around like that. Hey, presto! There we go. That's how we do it. It's probably not going to like that being too close. So I'll put that in there instead. Okay, so prisms, and then plasma exciters. Oh, don't give me that. I hate it when it does that. What? I thought the latest patch was supposed to fix these lining up issues. I'm gonna just upgrade these. It's probably not necessary, but it'd be nice to have. Okay, so what it's going to do is it's going to prioritize building the wireless before it builds these, which you don't need so many of. Unfortunately, we don't get our nice even things, but c'est la vie. Alright, steel. Only needs to go as far as this one. So now I've got to work on putting a steel line in. Oh, look at that. How convenient. What I could then do is have this as my output. Or, what am I doing? Full Dairakku. You've actually lined this up perfectly. That was a brilliant accident. Oh, wait a sec. It's making iron, not steel. Alright, so we've got our iron set up. Now I just need to set up a steel. And they get spat out at the top like that. And then I just copy and paste that like so. And we can start. Different chemical plants being made, and soon we'll have enough for our first refinery. Well, we will when I put the stone in. Here we go. So there's our first oil extractor. And pretty soon we should have our first oil refinery. There we go. Alright. Beautiful. And now it's time to check how the solar panels are doing. How many have we made? Okay. This is excellent. I need 400 cubes, right? To kickstart the X-ray. So if I get rid of the ordinary... ordinary ones there. Hang on, it's 3 or 4 for those. So I'll go away while I'll see how big a stack of that is, because if I need 400, I might as well just have it. Because then I can just chuck it into the labs when I go to do my red science. But to do that, before I even get to that, I need to sort out my power. Because, yeah, sure, I've got power at the moment, but I'm running at about 75%. So it's about time that I use those solar panels that I've had lying around. What I want to do is I want to find the equator. And start running solar panels along it. Foundation over trees and rocks actually get compensated with a bit more soil pile. Okay. I am trying to farm organic crystals at the moment though, but that's actually something useful to know. Thank you. You watch the shadow of the planet in planet mode. The most inefficient place to put a solar panel is on the equator. 50% is not good enough when you can get around 70% at or near the poles. Okay. So you're saying I should take it to a higher latitude. So I should have some more bands of... I mean, I don't want to have a polar plant though. I want to sort of keep a little bit of space up there. So I might move it slightly away. But that's actually a very good idea. Thank you very much. Alright, how many per stack? 200. Okay. I'll make this 2 stacks. I'll have all the blue I need for my dastardly plan. Right, and then what I will do is I'll grab this, get rid of that, put that there on the corner, put that into there, and just have a 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3. And it has the tower, because of course. Right, yeah, I think I'm fairly set now. Let's go to a fairly high latitude. I guess 60 is where it's going to be at. It's not too close to the pole, but it's close enough. So solar power. So it's... I guess we'll call this the... like an Antarctic Circle or something. Should probably grab some wireless towers while I'm at it. Right.
You built a wireless power tower, which is suitable with long-distance power transmission caused by its longer connection distance. What's exciting is that it can also charge mecha by using electricity from the grid.
Yeah. That's why I've got them. Can I actually click and drag these? Yes, I can. I've got enough blue science now for X-rays, but kind of need this first. Okay, now we're down to 50%. And so probably the idea is the Foundation make 15 to 45 storage boxes. Place them down on a line, 15 long no spaces. Place level the ground to 0, giving you solve. Same with the Foundation's the area you actually need to use the saw pile. Okay. So something like that. Oh, that's actually a useful trick. Thank you very much. Right. It's not going to get me much further in that direction. We're about halfway done. It's not going to get me much further in that direction either. Okay. And then from this point it's basically water, except for maybe this little bit here. I don't even have enough soil to fill that in. Oh dear. And slowly but surely we're getting that. Not really been to the North Pole. So even if I put this in at 60 degrees north. Oh, I've got a pretty good run through here actually. Oh! Xanaicor, we were just talking about you. Hello! How was First Class Trouble other than the yelling and screaming I heard? It was good, glad to hear. Hey Amelia, how you doing? Thank you very much for the 23-month subscription. Ooh. 1 month away from the anniversary now. So at the moment I'm just playing Dyson Sphere Program and trying to build a whole heap of solar panels at a high latitude. So that I can, well, get a good amount of power that I'm going to need shortly for my base, because I'm going to be doing something very power heavy involving oil. Quickest way back is going to be sort of directly opposite where I am almost. It's hard to figure a place. I'm very fresh to see someone willing to try something new. Thank you very much for the subscription, Firehammer. Thank you so much, mate. Okay, we'll try and put that there. Come on. There we go. It's not pretty, but it doesn't need to be. Alright, so what's a satisfaction now? Excellent. We're now down to 1/3. Okay, so the next thing to do is just find where that magic oil place is again. Oh, here it is. In fact, it was near the North Pole. Alright, I am going to need stuff and things. For this, I'm going to need a good number of belts. Going to need these. And in fact, we're going to need to start to convert some of those. Let's go ahead and just handcraft as many greens as I can. Probably not the most efficient, but it'll keep me going. Meanwhile, let me go and grab some graphite. Right, we're going to need the fluid tanks. Well, let me just go down the line here. Probably not going to need many, if any, of these. I'll just bring it up to top of the stack. Smelters. Probably not. Miners, probably. But again, probably not. Actually. I'm going to need more than I think I do. So I've got 11 fluid storages. I might get some more of those. Storage Mark 2. Yeah, 33 will do. Don't need that. Don't need that. Just 1,000. Okay, 4. Matrix Labs. Now. I will need some of these in time. Fluid storage. Bring it up to 30. Just for now. Those got plenty of. Now these. That should be enough of those. Chemical plants don't need at this stage. Okay, so crude oil. So I need 2 per second. Well, actually, no, I need half of 1 per second. So 2 gets me 2 light, and so half 1 per second. So I'm going to be building 6 plasmas, so I only need 6 to start with. That's all I need for now. Maybe forever. But what I might do is I might hedge myself, because that's going to decrease over time, slowly. Though I don't know how slowly. So if I give myself these 3 right here, that's very convenient. Fair enough, part dealing with hydrogen and refined oil. There always end up with too much of one and not enough of the other. Yeah, I know what you mean. As far as I'm concerned, hydrogen is the waste product. So I'm going to try and utilize as much oil as I can. So I can prioritize the output of that, actually. Alright. So, let's build our oil extractors. This is going to be my main oil area. Then that should be my backup. We'll put my backup one in here, after all. There's our first lot of Texas tea. Now there is a reason why I'm keeping these two separated, even though it could, in theory, fit on this belt quite nicely. That's because I want this to be my backup line. This line and this line are going to combine. Now, even though it has more than what can fit on here, just by like 0.3 a second, roughly. By combining it with this line, I'm going to prioritize that line. So, pop that in there like that. Put that through. And there's the end of our grid. It's actually here instead. Right. That goes in like that. We prioritize that input. It always pulls from that before it pulls from that. And then when that gets below 6 a second, it'll start pulling in from that. These 6 plasma stations will have 2 X-ray stations behind each one. So I would have put that there. Now, what I want to do afterwards is that. Ooh, I picked up some carbon nanotubes, just... Okay. Yes, please. I give myself a belt. Then I can just repeat the pattern. Okay, so then that goes there, that goes there, and then that goes there. Right, so that should be 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. And then that goes along 1 tile more. That's going to be for X-ray, and that's for plasma. So this is just currently, I wouldn't say mothballed, but I'd say built in advance. I'll just curve that in. Use fewer pieces that way. And I'll curve that in there like that. So I'm actually going to use this side out here to put the crude oil and the hydrogen. Because right now the crude oil is my waste product. The hydrogen's what I need. So, red signs. So it needs 200, well, it needs 2 graphite and 2 hydrogen. There we go, 4 tiles. Yes, it's an uneven jump, but there we go. Now, this is where my crude oil is going to go for now. Like so. Not your fingers, oh, yours.
You built a storage tank. It is more suitable for storing fluid than the storage. Each storage tank can only store one single type of fluid and can be built vertically. However, once it has been removed, all the stored fluid will be devastated.
Finally, we have our fluids possibility of being devastated. There is a high chance of fluid devastation tonight. Here's the thing. To get 400 cubes, I need 800 hydrogen and 800 graphite. So, just so happens that somewhere over here this way. So looking forward to red things so that I can fly, go into orbit. I'm just going to set up a quick and dirty setup to get my red sign so I can get the X-ray up and going. So I need 800. So there's 6, and I'll just sacrifice some of my spare fuel. I can put some of my spare fuel in now. There we go. Okay, it's just slightly off the line of... That looks so cool though. I love that. So since I'm not using this at the moment, I'm actually going to set this up to split my hydrogen and my graphite. And I'm going to set up my graphite here. And just get that out into the world ASAP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's going to be for my hydrogen in the future. Now, 1 matrix lab, or rather 3. But I'll just build the first one. It takes 6 seconds to make 1 red science from 2 and 2. So therefore, I'm going to build 2 towers. That's going to come out along here. Then along here, I'm going to do a very quick and dirty thing. I just need to go and get myself my blue science that I've set aside. No longer will be using this lab. Okay, let's put all that into there. And we change that to actual research. Doesn't need to work quickly, so I'll just use low level ones. I'm going to do a little bit of preparation ahead of time. And I've got to change that back to that. I'm going to set this up so that I don't waste any hydrogen. Right. So that will prioritize that until that fills up. Then when that fills up, it will send things along there. And then the beauty of this will come into effect. We start stockpiling our hydrogen. So I'll just revise what the plan is. I've currently got this set up so that the oil is going to go into here, and then I will no longer, I won't need it. The oil is currently a byproduct I don't want. The hydrogen will go across here, where it will meet up with the graphite. Now, this could pose a bit of a problem if there's a bit of a backlog. We will see what happens. If it starts becoming too much of an issue, then I will start playing around with things. Spare hydrogen is going to be dragged into here. But first, the hydrogen is going to be pulled into here. Graphite's going to come out of here, and I have exactly enough to set myself up for X-ray. Then when we have X-ray, I'm going to basically disconnect this line here and get rid of that line, get rid of that line. The hydrogen line is going to come down to here instead. So what I'm going to do is actually just prepare for that. Have a bit of a flyover happening. There we go. That's a bit better. Let her rip. And now we wait. Ooh. Come on, quick, before bad things happen. Ooh. I'm not getting my graphite out. Oh no! I went to the wrong one. There we go. Oh, come on. Oh. Yeah, that would kind of help, wouldn't it? Let there be science! I'm gonna have to create a circle. Because that might be stuck down there forever otherwise. I'm trying to remember where that stock sound comes from. Might be the research labs in Civ 2, Civilization 2, possibly. Sound. I'm actually going to get ready to hit the kill switch. Now that's not pulling that evenly. There we go. As soon as we've researched it, I'm pulling the trigger. Therefore I don't have any excess oil. Okay, why have we stalled? I need to put more graphite in. Apparently it wasn't enough graphite. Any moment now. There it is. Okay. Right. So I'm going to let this let the system eat all of the crude oil it currently has. And I'm going to tell these guys to do X-ray cracking. Now I had a big issue with not getting balancing right the last time I tried to play this, but I've discovered this method. Of all people, of course it's Nilaus who's told me about it. Apparently I can just sort of do some amazing wizardry and just pass things back and forth between the two X-ray crackers. Right, so let's get rid of that. And that. Now I no longer need that and that. This is going to be a purely inbound system. Now, here's where it gets a little bit precise, and to be honest, I don't know how this all works. Yeah. And as a result, it seems like this should be a bug. But so what I'm doing right now, I'm just saying that your mileage may vary. So what I want to do is go back here. Now, you must not upgrade these to Mark III. Because when you upgrade these to Mark III and you start getting your stacker bonuses, you upset your balance. This is a very finely tuned process. So what we do is we go from the left one over here and we select this to be oil, just on a level 1. Then over here we have no filter. So see, one has oil, one does not. Then we have, from the one that has nothing going into it, 2 into the one on the left, and for the one that has the oil, 1 into the right. And then we go ahead. Now we have no filter, because it doesn't matter, we will take it all. Okay. If you do not keep the hydrogen flowing in locks up, you have to filter your solids precisely and jumps into the system if you do not use the secondary source of hydrogen to keep it going. Okay. Right, so now just going to put this on the left one of each side. And then that's already that. Put that in there. That there. And that there. Now. This will filter out the graphite and the hydrogen that comes out of there. Spare hydrogen gets put into here. And it goes on. I've got a little bit of blue science going through. So let's put this into theory, or put theory into practice. The first one starts up, the plasma start up. I'll just stand here. It's going to swap between sides a few times. But eventually, there we go, graphite's going down the graphite path, hydrogen is going down the hydrogen path. We're starting to get somewhere, we're building up. Occasionally they'll turn off just as it gets itself going. But there we go. Thank you very much for the follow, Heck and Papa. Yellow is wrong with the setup. You spent hours trying to get to work. Ended doing it very differently. Very ingenious setup, but resource locks itself regardless of the sorter level. Okay. The biggest obstacle to set up is there is not enough hydrogen flowing. So as long as I keep hydrogen flowing, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But that's also why I'm kill switching it from time to time. So I guess we're starting to run out of room for the reds. Right. Just kill switch that. So I'm going to go with various, but it always does lock up. Okay. But we've got the... At least... I mean, I'll keep this going as long as it can. I mean, it probably will lock up. I mean, that's... I have hydrogen, that's why you burn the excess. Really now it's just a case of hydrogen management. And I should probably put a buffer in on the graphite. Yeah, this is where it's starting to lock up now. Just that one filter. If it's not pulling graphite, then it's not pulling hydrogen out of the system. Or a splitter would be an effective kill switch just so as it fills, turn the bells off, so to speak. Yeah, that's a good idea. tell it to filter something through that can't be filtered through. So that was a really cool idea, thank you. So the next thing to do is going to be to build a permanent blue science production. I'm probably not going to get too much out of these two veins here. I'm going to have to supplement the copper. I'm going to have to bring it in from probably one of the other planets. Because, yeah, there's less than 1 million copper on the world, and I mean, there's a lava world with 22 million copper there. Then there's only just over 1 million on there. So copper's just going to have to come from there. The system works. How long it'll work for, well, that remains to be seen. But I think I've been able to do this in a much more elegant way than I think Neelas originally did, because she was basically right, I'm just going to set up these things, oh yep, and now I'm going to destroy everything. I'm like, no. Why tear things down when you could just set it up from the beginning, ready to go, and then just turn things on as you need? So I'll see how this goes for the rest of the playthrough, this system. If it does give me a lot of grief, then I'll move on to looking for something that's not as prone to seizing up. But really, for every the whole point of the system is to generate red science, and as long as I'm generating science, needing science, I should have this working. I think the way to get around this seizing up is to just regulate its flow. Because if I just keep this running all the time, then I'm just going to end up with oodles and oodles of hydrogen. And graphite that's not going to go anywhere either. Eventually I'll need to turn this into a bigger storage. Really only just building buffers. Which is, I suppose, more effective because, you know, otherwise then, you know, you're going to be in some other star system and you have to come back and turn it on and off and then go away again to get your red science. So once I have a way to burn the excess hydrogen, because I need, well, for every 3 hydrogen I produce, I burn 1. So I need to work out maybe a way of fractioning that. I mean, well, it can be done with a simple splitter because that divides into 3. So I have 2 go around into it's the system there, and then just have 1 going to be burnt. I mean, that would work, right? That goes off to be burnt. Hang on, let's keep the flow happening. This whole sort of nice curves happening. There we go. Let's harvest that tree. belt logic, yeah. Alright, so... Right, so for every 3 hydrogen that goes in, one of them will go there, one will go there, and one will go there. Then just put that in there, and I'll just keep a little bit of a buffer happening there as well. There we go. That should be enough to keep me going with this for quite some time. But until I get the blue science up and running, I'm going to leave this fallow. Yeah, I like the sort of organic look happening here. I'm sure there'd be I mean, if I put that at the ends, then that would look a lot prettier, I suppose. Thank you very much for the follow, Golden Fib. Alright, so there we go. That goes through. Oh, here's a rock. Cool. We've got 2300 oil just sitting there. I really don't want to devastate my fluids. Okay, so you're there and you're there. Get the blue in, so I've just got this happening so that that doesn't stall. But I don't think this is necessary now. Alright, so with that it is 1:30 in the morning. The relatives are coming over sometime tomorrow, so I am going to call it very soon. But I think we've achieved a lot tonight. Managed to set up the start of a couple of solar circumpolar rings. Just need some more soil piles before I go and link the missing segments up. Managed to get red science up and going with some oil wells. I've got a backup oil well there for when that and that start to deteriorate. Adapted the Nealhouse system, set it up so it wasn't as wasteful initially, kept things aside, and then I organised my hydrogen so it somewhat does a little bit of fractioning. Got the red science happening, blue science happening, not yet. And I'll get it between there and there. That's going to be where my soil's going to go to next. Meanwhile, managed to also get silicon up and running so I can get the solar panels happening. It's concrete from last time. Managed there. Also managed to expand my building facilities. Oh, I wonder why that's gone all... Maybe I told it to be like that. Anyway. That's now new things I have ready to go. When I get storage Mark II, that's what's going in there. To get the solar panels, I have to do a little bit of spaghetti to the start of the bus here, but otherwise it seems to be working okay. Got glass hooked up, which was the last thing I did at the end of last stream. And also got myself some fuel. Speaking of which, there we go. Things are starting to get somewhere. Slowly but surely. So next stream, well, the goal is to try and get to probably here. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of silicon as compared to, say, here, which would actually be a better source of silicon and titanium. But eventually I'll need to get copper off the lava world. Harvesting the titanium and the silicon so that I can head towards interplanetary logistics, because I'm going to need it. That's the next big goal. Once I get the interplanetary logistics, then I can start looking into yellow science. So, thank you very much, everybody, once again. Be sure to wear a mask, wash your hands, sanitize them, but above all, be kind to one another. Until I see you again, Otsukare-sama. Bye for now.